All right, let's get started. So I have a little bit of a slide deck here that I can go through, but basically this presentation, this session will be about our long-term study abroad partners. So I'll be basically going in depth on each partner. We had a fair yesterday where it was just an open event where students were able to come and ask questions. Um, I realized that a lot of the brochures were actually not online. They were all offline for edits. I just put them all back online today. So you'll be able to click on them later on to say that you'll basically see all the details and submit an application. But let's go ahead and get started. We can cover some of the information that's in here. And then of course, towards the end, there's going to be time for questions. My presentation is not too long. All right, great. So I'll start with quick introductions or reintroductions. My name is Marie Balalu. I'm the program manager for Global and Experiential Education Office. I manage our short-term and long-term abroad programs, as well as experiential learning opportunities here at the School of Business. I've been in my role for about 6 years now, a little over 6 years. And in this role, I've had the pleasure to send a lot of our students abroad. To give you a sense of how many of our students, just this past spring, we had 6 students abroad in different schools. We had 2 students at the University of Cape Town, 2 students at EDEC Business School in France. We had 1 student at Bocconi University in Italy, and 1 student or 2 students at ESSEC Business School in France. I think 6 or 7 students. Last fall, we had about 3 students, 1 in Denmark, 1 in Korea, and a 3rd one in Italy. So, of course, we can go over, can start sort of going over some of the details. But starting off, so why would a student be interested in doing a long-term abroad? And that's why we're here, right? I'm here to sort of give some of the benefits of studying abroad and sort of where to do a long-term study abroad and how to apply for a long-term study abroad. So these are the items that we'll cover in this presentation, but we can start off with why study abroad, right? Our partners, we have 20 of them, 18 of which are active relationships where we send and receive students. So we have an exchange of students between graduate students between the 2 schools. These are top business schools in their expertise. And how they complement GW is that we sought out these partnerships in a strategic way so they complement the GW curriculum. So there's many potentially maybe subjects that you might be interested in that may not be available at GW or may be available in limited number of classes, but our partners compensate for that because you can go to a partner school and take elective courses in that subject major and then transfer the credits back to GW. So that's what we meant when we say those business schools have diverse areas of expertise. We have partners who have expertise in entrepreneurship. We have partners that have expertise in luxury branding, others that focus on emerging markets and development. So each partner, many of those partner schools have very specific focuses, which is what we want our students to take advantage of. These also expose you to new academic environments, right? So especially for students who are interested in working in a global arena, this is a really good way to immerse yourself into a culture, because you'll be taking classes not at GW, not in the GW building, but at that partner's building, and you'll be following their system. So it's a good way to basically have a feel of the culture, have a feel of the work environment, of the academic environment within a semester. It allows you to expand your network. I always tell students, especially students who are interested in expanding their connections, this is a great way because you're basically in a classroom with students from all around the world and a lot of students from that environment. And those are how you make professional connections, personal connections, and make more friends with people from all around the world. So this is a really great way to expand your connections. It allows you to build invaluable skills. Studying abroad is an undertaking, right? Because you're going to be doing research, making sure that you are taking the right classes and in the right subject. You're going to be basically building those interpersonal skills when you're abroad, in terms of adapting to a new cultural environment, adapting to a new academic environment, perhaps navigating a city where you don't speak the language. And those are all those are all experiences that will allow you to build those resiliency skills that employers look for when they're trying to hire their new talent. And of course, it allows you to diversify your experience. So what are some of the considerations for choosing a program? So of course, you want to look at academic and programmatic. So you want to look at regional, national, or sector exposure. So what are you interested in? Are you interested in like a region of the world and not necessarily looking at a specific topic? Or are you interested in a specific state, nation, or are you interested in getting into a new sector? So let's say you studied your MBA or your master's program at GW and you're like, okay, I'm doing a career switch. Let's say I was working in IT, now I want to go into human resources, right? So that's what you want to have a sense of, because that will allow you to guide your experience abroad. So if you're trying to get into HR, you're like, oh, maybe I should sort of enhance my opportunities in that field, in that sector. So you want to look for partners who have specialty in like HR. So that's what we mean by sector exposure. Of course, academic opportunities. You want to look for partners that give you that right content, academic content. You also want to balance it out with what other opportunities that partner has to offer. And then we'll go into them in depth. But a lot of these partners, what I like about them is that they have opportunities for exchange students to join their, like same thing at GW when we have like Career Week or Study Abroad fairs, they have similar events that you can join. University of Cape Town in South Africa has a full conference week, for example, on women in business, I think, and exchange students can join that conference. ESSEC Business School in France has a LVMH chair program that exchange students can join and get a certificate in luxury branding, right? So these are kind of like those specific opportunities that our exchange students can take advantage of, depending on the partner, depending on the destination. Some other practical and professional consideration, of course, you always want to consider cost. So all of our programs, when you enroll in an exchange program, the tuition, you're not paying tuition at the school, you're paying tuition at GW. So let's say you're enrolling in, you want to take, 9 credits or 12 credits abroad, you're going to be paying that amount of credits at GW. So you won't be responsible for paying any tuition at the partner. And then in terms of the living expenses, that will come out of your pocket, right? So that's where you want to think about living and the cost of living in some of these destinations, right? So probably if you're looking for a program in Paris, the cost of living in Paris is probably comparable or more to that of living in DC, right? So those are the things that you want to think about when you're thinking about cost. You also want to think about timing. Timing is very important, especially if you're in a degree program where you have some requirements that are only offered in specific semesters. So let's say you are in the Master's of Science in International Business, right? Some of the requirement courses are only offered in like a fall or a spring. So you want to make sure if you want to do a study abroad program that you fulfill your core requirements and go abroad without impacting or jeopardizing your ability to graduate in that same time frame. So you just want to make sure that before, I always tell students, before you go abroad, you want to either make sure that you have all of your requirements, core requirements satisfied at GW. That way you go, you only do your electives abroad and then you graduate. Or alternatively, you can also basically start your program, do your abroad, and then come back to finish your program. But you just want to make sure that when you're coming back to finish, that you have in that semester all of the courses that you need to graduate. So that's what we mean in terms of timing. And then, of course, career development and networking opportunities. The example that I like to take when we talk about career development and long-term study abroad, because a lot of students ask me, what's the benefit of like studying abroad? Like, I mean, there's a lot of benefits, but like, what about the professional side, right? Because not all students who study abroad can get an internship, but it's those connections, it's those opportunities that are invaluable for your career. There's a student back in 2015, 2016 who studied at IPADE for a semester. And IPADE has, their own partners, right? Because they work with companies. Those companies come in for lectures in the school. One of those companies happened to be Microsoft. So that student made a connection with one of those folks who came to speak at during the program. And then he ended up landing a job at Microsoft in Mexico. So those are some of the opportunities that are available. They're not guaranteed, but those are some of the opportunities that are available when you go on these study abroad programs. No, we're a bit too still in this room. Okay, so that's study abroad in a nutshell. So who can study abroad? Everyone. Anybody who's a student at GW can study abroad. All of our undergraduate students apply for study abroad programs to the Office for Study Abroad. They're the central office that manages study abroad program for undergraduate students. And then each school manages their own graduate study abroad program. So School of Business, we have our 20 partners. So our graduate students apply through our office, and then we send them off. Deadline here on the slide is wrong. I'll correct that, but the deadline to apply is September 10th. So September 10th, and I can talk about this a little bit in the next slide, is the deadline if you want to be considered for all of the schools that we have available. After that date, it's not impossible, but some of those partners have like nomination deadlines of the 15th, for example, where I have to tell them that this student wants to do exchange with you, and I have them to the 15th, right? So you would lose those partners who have earlier deadlines, but you could still apply. Some partners like NTCU in Taiwan, their deadline is not until October. So for that, I can allow students to submit later applications. Korea University Business School, their application deadline or nomination deadline is September 30th. So that comes a little later. So I'll have, of course, messaging going out after the deadline for students who are still interested, maybe didn't have time to get their application together. They'll still have opportunity to apply, but it will be reduced to specific partners after the 10th. Now, how to apply. The process is very simple. I'm sorry, I thought I updated this slide, but process is very simple. The application is through GW Passport. So when you go on our website, you'll click explore our partners around the world, and it will drop down the list of all the partners. So you click on a given partner, you review all the information, eligibility, and then there's an apply now button. When you hit apply, you'll select the term, spring 2024. And then you'll fill out the application. Super simple, a transcript, unofficial transcript. There's an application where you just complete the information, very simple. And then you will be contacted for an interview. Once I receive your application, the deadline hits, I'll contact you. If I haven't spoken with you before, I'll contact you for an interview. Now that interview is very much a way for me to get a sense of where your priorities are. And to share more information about some of the partners you applied for, and that's how we can discuss it a little bit more before I place you into a specific program. So in terms of dates, so deadline is the 10th. Decisions will be shared. Again, I'll edit this slide before I share it out on September 27th or earlier. I'll probably share it earlier than 27th. But that's the latest I'll share decisions. And that's basically when I'll send you an email saying, hey, all 3 of the partners that you've been out of the 3 partners that partner schools that you've applied for, you've been admitted to 2. So now it's up to you to decide which one of the 2 you want to go to. So what happens after that? After you're accepted into a program, you will have, a few days to decide, yep, I want to go. No, I still need to think about it. Once you're set, you will confirm how many credits you want to take with a partner. And I will enroll you in this placeholder course that we called Exchange 0235, Section 60, which is our placeholder for study abroad programs. And that will trigger your tuition. Oh, are you okay? There are some napkins over there. And that will trigger your tuition for the spring semester or fall semester, whichever semester you're doing. So that will set you for the semester. And then, of course, you want to have a conversation with your academic advisor, because studying abroad is not just something you can just do, right? You want to make sure that all of your academic requirements are met before you go abroad. So you want to have a conversation with your academic advisor, let them know that you want to study abroad in this semester, so you'll be gone. Are you set for like degree requirements, degree plans? Are you on track? In terms of other preparation, you'll need to register in your health insurance for while you're abroad. That's something that you'll do on your own, because you'll decide sort of when you arrive in country and when you'll depart. So you're enrolled in those specific dates. The company that GW works with to have insurance coverage for abroad programs is called GeoBlue. And their coverage cost is very inexpensive. It's just $2 per day. And you have full coverage while you're there. Medical emergencies, they offer security assistance as well. And that's something that I'll tell all the students who are going. We'll have a pre-departure and I'll walk students through those items. The most important item here when it comes to registration and billing is that petition to transfer credit. This is what you will fill out with the courses that you want to take abroad. And you'll basically tell our office, you'll tell me how you want those courses to be transferred into your degree program. So let's say you're taking finance classes. You're registered in 3 classes at the partner. And because the partner has their own system, how they like name the courses and everything. So you're telling me, okay, so I'm taking these 3 courses at the partner and I want them to transfer as my international business elective, my marketing elective, and my management elective. So that's what you write on there. Once you have that, your advisor signs off and like, yep, this is perfect. It will, clear her in the degree, degree map. And then I go ahead and keep that on file. Once you pass the classes at the partner, I transfer that as you indicated in your petition, and then you're all set. So that's a little bit about the application process and then the sort of next steps. Now, some additional notes. The majority of courses are taught in English, so you don't need local language expertise to go on any of these programs. If you have local language expertise, you will be able to take additional classes or may be able to take additional classes. But that, in terms of like what you have to take, you'll have available, you'll have plenty of options in English. All students are required to enroll in at least 9 credits because that's the full-time enrollment for classes, graduate school students at the school, at the university. So it's the same thing that you're going to be expected to do abroad. The only exceptions that I make to this 9 credit rule is if a student is graduating and they need less than 9 credits to graduate. So if you only need 6 credits to graduate, I'm not going to force you to take 9, to register in 9 credits. You'll be able to register in 6 credits and go, but you'll need to clear it with your academic advisor. Of course, you'll need an advisor approval, as I mentioned before, for your credit transfers. In terms of the amount of credits that you can transfer back, it's 15. 15 is the maximum number of credits that you can transfer towards your degree program. But of course, that will vary with your degree program. MBA students tend to have more electives, so they can transfer a lot more. Our specialized masters, it depends from program to program. Our master's in management program also has a few electives, but probably not 15. MSIB has 2 electives, so 6 credits. So they will be, only able to transfer 6. So it varies with your degree program and how many elective credits you're allowed in your major. Also very important, note only your credits transfer for long-term abroad, not the grade. So that means that when you go to the partner, you take their classes, they grade you. And when I get your transcript, the only thing I check with the grade is to make sure that you pass those classes with a B equivalent. And then I only transfer the credits. The grade will not affect your GPA here at GW, either positively or negatively. So it's just the credits that will transfer. It's a very important note about long-term abroad. All right, this is what the petition to transfer credit looks like. You'll put your name at the top, degree program, the partner institution where you're going, GWID, concentration if applicable, or if you're double majoring, you can put your second major in there, and then the semester of exchange. And then these are what the lines that I was mentioning earlier, right? You're writing the partner course, that department, if it's a marketing course, if there's a number, you can write in there, but there's no biggie. The credit hours and the course title, and then how you want that transferred. So let's say, like I mentioned before, you're taking a finance class and you're like, I want this to transfer as a marketing. So you're right, marketing here, the course number 6290, so our general electives for marketing, the number of credits, 3 credits, and then the name of the course. And then your advisor signs off on each of the courses. And then I also sign off once the advisor approves, and then you're all set. All right, now let's go into partner institution. This part is going to be long because I'm going to be talking about each partner in detail. So going in alphabetical order, first partner is Audencia Business School. This school is located, their main campus is in Nantes, but they have an executive campus in Paris. They're actually building a new campus, a bigger campus in Paris, so they may have a few more like courses available in Paris, but for the majority, it will be in Nantes. So if you're doing an exchange with Audencia, you'll be on their Nantes campus. Nantes is a smaller town, I think south of Paris. It's about a 2-hour train ride. A beautiful town, like 500,000 inhabitants. And there's, it's pretty robust in terms of transportation. There's a tram, there are buses, very easy to get around. And they have a beautiful campus as well that's been recently renovated. So they offer both of our master's structures. So they have MBA programs and specialized masters. Their strengths are in responsible management, so CSR, corporate social responsibility, information systems, and social impact. They offer full semesters in the fall and the spring. Their credit equivalency, this is the European credit system, so it's ECTS, and 2 ECTS equals 1 GW credit. So if you take a class that's 6 ECTS, it will be the equivalent of 3 GW credits. And they offer free language classes for exchange students. So you can sign up for one of those classes. You can't transfer it back for credit, but it will allow you to learn some French. Now, a little bit of a note on Audencia is that you can, if you don't want to spend a full semester there, they also have short-term exchange opportunities in the spring break and the summer. So they have actually short-term exchange programs are currently open, and they offer a corporate governance program over the spring break from March 10 through the 16, 2024. So that applications are open until the 24th of September. So that's also an opportunity that you can apply for if you're not interested in going to Audencia for a full semester. Second partner is Bocconi University. They're located in Milan in Italy. Although MBA students can participate in Bocconi's exchange students, they won't be able to take MBA courses anymore at Bocconi. So they'll be able to enroll in any of their Masters of Science courses, but not MBA, because their program is now restricted to their own MBA students. Their strengths include luxury brand management, strategic management, and economics. They offer a full semester in the fall and the spring. Same credit system as Audencia. They have the ECTS credit system. They do have Italian language courses. There's one, I think, that they offer for a fee, and I have that detailed on their brochure. And then it's basically like a small fee for the Italian courses. And they have a section starting before the semester. So if you go to Bocconi in the spring, for example, their spring semester starts in February, early February. So they'll have like 3 weeks, I think, intensive Italian in January. So you have to go there before if you want to take their language classes. I mean, what can I say? They kind of speak for themselves in terms of their ranking, in terms of their business programs, and of course, the quality of the instruction and their specialization on luxury branding. So we've had a lot of our MTA, or formerly known MTA, but MSM students study there because they have a lot of hospitality related courses. Okay, next up is Copenhagen Business School, or CBS. They're located in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's available to both MBA and specialized master's students. Their strengths include they have cross-disciplinary research, social responsibility, financial risk management, and innovation and sustainability. They offer full semester, fall and spring. Credit equivalency is the same European system, and they do have Danish language classes for fee. This is one of our popular partners, especially because of their focus on sustainability. A lot of our students go there for specifically those opportunities. Same thing as Audencia. If students don't want to stay there for a full semester, they do have short-term programs available. Spring break, again, applications are currently open. They also have classes over the summer, which they call the International Summer University Program, or ISA. Next up is the Chinese University of Hong Kong. They're located in Hong Kong. This program is open to both MBA and specialized master's programs. Their strengths include entrepreneurship in Asian markets, hospitality, IT, accounting, and marketing. They're one of the longest established Asian MBA programs, so they're very much a strong in the ranking, strong on the academic side. They have 2 terms of exchange that they offer. Their term 1 is September through November, so it's a bit shorter. And then their term 3, which is March through June. MBA students have a slightly different structure when it comes to the terms. I think that MBA students can choose to do modules within those terms. But those are the general dates of when their term starts and ends. In terms of credit equivalency, 1 CUHK credit equals 1 GW credit. So if you're taking 2 credits at CUHK, it's going to translate to a 2 GW credit class, 3 to 3, et cetera, et cetera. In terms of language classes, they have a center, Mandarin and Cantonese language center, and they offer classes there for a fee, small fee. They have classes that you can take for credit and classes that you can take for 0 credit during the semester while you're there. So they do have that, those options. European Business School is located in Germany. I will not attempt to pronounce the name of that town. I failed before. So it's located in a small town. I think it's about a little over an hour out from Frankfurt. They have both MBA and specialized master's programs. They're strong in finance, logistics, automotive management, and real estate. They offer full length of exchange in the fall and the spring, same European credit system. And they do have intensive German classes available for exchange students. It's not clear whether or not those opportunities are free, but they do have that available for exchange students. EDHEC Business School. EDHEC Business School is also located in France. They have 2 campuses. They have one in Lille and one in Nice. Each campus has a different focus, right? So the Nice campus is focused there. The subjects that are there are finance, economics, and risk. And their Lille campus is general business management. So depending on which class and marketing, depending on which classes you want to take, you'll have to pick one of the campuses. You can't take classes across the campuses. So you have to decide whether you want to go to Nice or you want to go to Lille. In my application, you don't have to decide if you just want to, put in your application. But once you start filling out the paperwork to go to EDHEC, they will ask which campus you want to go to. They offer full length of exchange in the fall and the spring. Same European credit system with the ECTS, and they do have free language classes available for exchange students. EDHEC, we had actually a student in EDHEC this past spring. And I've sent a student there as well in the fall. So it's very popular for both MBA and specialized master's students. And similarly, they also have a short-term exchange program over the summer. Last year, they had it on the topic of business of luxury, and it was 2 weeks over the summer. So that brochure is actually still available on our website if you want to go check it out. You can go to the short-term abroad program page and then go to summer 2023. And then it will be short-term exchange with EDHEC, and then you can basically just read about it, see if that would be of interest. ESSEC Business School is located in Cergy-Pontoise. Cergy-Pontoise is 45 minutes out of Paris. So people usually say it's in Paris. It's not right in Paris, but it's close enough to Paris. Both MBA and specialized masters can go to ESSEC, but MBA students must know that you won't be able to take MBA classes there. You'll be taking classes in their Masters of Management program. That's the program that's open to exchanges. So all of the classes that are going to be available are going to be in the management program. The strengths include agribusiness, entrepreneurship, health, hospitality management, and luxury brand management. On the topic of strength for ESSEC Business School, what I like to highlight is their LVMH chair. LVMH is the Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, I think, chair program, which is like a luxury. It's one of their flagship programs, and it is available for exchange students on an application basis. So once you apply through me and I accept you for the exchange with ESSEC, your next step, if you want to take the LVMH, is to apply. They'll have a separate application process to get into the LVMH chair. We do have a student last year who did apply, get into the LVMH program, and completed it over the January terms. So still relating to the LVMH chair, I'll talk about the structure, but the length of the exchange, they have trimester structure. So they have term 1, term 2, and term 3. Term 2 and term 3 are kind of like what fit in our spring semester. So technically, if you want to just do term 2, for example, you'll be studying with them from January to April, and then basically come back. That's very attractive for students who are graduating in the spring, because that means you can be back before graduation. But if you want to complete the full length of the LVMH chair program, you can opt to be there basically from January through June, basically complete both terms there. The student who completed the LVMH chair did do that, so she was there for the entire spring semester. So that is an option, but of course it depends on whether or not you actually get into the LVMH program. Other opportunities, they do have free language courses for exchange students, and they do have a summer program available for MBA students only. All right, so next partner is Fudan University School of Management. Sorry, they're located in Shanghai, China. I'm actually quite excited to talk about them a little bit because I was not able to advertise them in my last information session because of COVID. They were closed they weren't accepting exchange students for the past 3 years, but now they're back in action and really excited. So they have MBA only exchange in the spring, and then both MBA and specialized masters in the fall. So if you're interested in Fudan and you're not an MBA student, you'll have to plan to apply for fall exchange. One of the strengths of Fudan University is that they have a lot of strategic partnerships with companies there. So exchange students have the opportunity to really visit those companies, have seminars and lectures with those and company visits while they're studying at Fudan. They also have full length of exchange, fall and spring. 1 Fudan credit equals 1 GW credit, so perfectly balanced on that side. They have free language courses for exchange students. They do have some scholarships that they offer for students that you have to apply for, but I don't know if the amount is still accurate. They still have it, but the amount probably shifted a little bit. So that's something that I can definitely look further into if any students are interested in Fudan. And then in terms of internships, they do offer some level of assistance if students want to complete an internship there, but you also have to make sure that you have a work permit and those types of items. But they will share information about companies where you can intern and what basically you need to do in terms of work authorization. Grenoble School of Management is located in Grenoble in France. They have both MBA and specialized master's programs. Their strengths include innovation management and technology, business consulting, entrepreneurship, and global management. They offer full semester fall and spring. Same European credit system. They have free language classes for exchange students. And they do also have funding opportunities for students who are studying there on term exchange that you can apply to. I think the funding is available to, I think, the European Union. So it's not a lot, but it helps with some living expenses. They also do have a short-term exchange program over the winter break that students can apply for right now, since applications are open. IAE Business School is located in Argentina. I think they recently opened a campus in Buenos Aires, so they'll have a second campus. This program is open to MBA only. So students who are not MBA in the MBA program won't be able to be eligible for this school. Their strengths include innovation and entrepreneurship and emerging economies. And then their periods are listed here. They have Module 1 and 2 from August to December, Module 3 from January to mid-March, and then Module 4 and 5 from mid-March to June. IPADE Business School. They're located in Mexico City in Mexico, available to both MBA and specialized master's students. They have strengths in business management, and their classes are interesting because they're all sort of case study method related. So you get really that experiential feel in the class, and they have a focus on, they have a good academic courses on emerging markets. The IPADE Business School exchange program is only available in the spring semester. So you can either choose to do their winter term, which is January to mid-March, or their spring term, which is April to mid-June. They also have a short-term exchange opportunity over the spring break. All right, next up, Korea University Business School. They're located in Seoul in South Korea. They have both MBA and specialized master's programs. Their strengths include accounting, finance, marketing, and management. And they also have, similar to Fudan, they have relationships with top companies. So they help their students secure like seminars and lectures with business leaders. The length of their exchange, they actually only offer exchange in the spring, not in the fall anymore, because most of their electives are not available in the spring. I mean, electives in English are not offered in the spring. So it's better for students to plan to go there in the spring. So if you are interested in Korea University Business School, you'll have to apply for spring 24 exchange or spring 25, but can't be fall. They also have Korean language classes, although it's a little bit more complicated for MBA students specifically, because MBA students are on a slightly different track than specialized masters. They may not have MBA, they may not have language courses. They may not be able to take language courses, but specialized masters can take their free or fee-paying language options. National Shengchi University is located in Taipei in Taiwan. They have both MBA, specialized masters. Our collaboration is with the College of Commerce, so that's where students will be taking classes. Although they'll have access similar to GW to all schools in their university. They have full-length exchange in the fall and the spring, and their strengths include international leadership and multicultural team building. Maastricht University is located in the Netherlands. They have both MBA and specialized master's programs. Our partnership is with the School of Business and Economics. So that's where students will be able to take classes. The cool thing about Maastricht University is their periods of study are a little bit shorter. So students, you don't have to have the fear of missing out too much on DC, because you can go there for one of their periods, either late August to October, especially if you're not taking too many credits. You can take, I think, 2 classes in each period, and then be back before the end of the semester. So they have both structures in the fall and the spring. And then they also have Dutch language courses available for students. Melbourne Business School, located in Australia, in Melbourne. This program is only open to MBA students. It's not open to specialized masters. The structure of their MBA program, or the profile of their MBA cohort, is that all their students have at least 2 years of expertise. So that's sort of their requirement for exchange students. Any students who are nominated or want to go to business or Melbourne Business School will have to have 2 years of at least 2 years of professional experience. They're the entry point to, their strengths include being an entry point for Asian markets, and their campus is located in the central business district, so they have a lot of connections. Their lengths of exchange include mid-January to late March, mid-April to late June, and then term for late September to early December. St. Gallen University, almost there. Is located in Switzerland, in St. Gallen. They have MBA and specialized master's programs. They have a more condensed MBA focus program as well, called International Study Program. And that's that, but that program is only available for MBA, but they do have regular semester exchange for specialized master's program. So this is one of our, they're in the top 10 business school in Europe. Their master's in management is #1 in Europe, and they also have a St. Gallen symposium that our exchange students can participate in. They do have some language courses, and of course, they have their they use the European credit system. TAU College School of Management is located in Tel Aviv in Israel. The eligibility is MBA only, so only MBA students can apply to study at TAU. Their strengths include entrepreneurship, high tech, and innovation. They only offer term of exchange in the fall semester because that's when their electives are offered in English. They don't have many electives in English in the spring semester, so they're only accepting for the fall. And then in terms of credit equivalency, 1 college credit equals 2 DW credits. They also have a short-term exchange program, which is cool because they're condensed module courses that happen over a 6-week period. And those programs will be advertised with our summer short-term offerings in December. This is the last one, University of Cape Town in South Africa, Graduate School of Business, or GSB. This is also an MBA-only program. Their strengths include emerging markets, value-based leadership, social innovation, and entrepreneurship. They have term 1 and term 4 open to exchanges, which is basically our spring and fall. Their spring semester, there's only like 5 or 6 classes that you can take. So it will be really, really focused. If you have a focus on development, emerging markets, leadership in Africa, those are going to be the topics that are going to be offered in the spring semester. Great. So there's a couple of more partners that I always like to highlight because we still have partnerships with them. It's just we can't send students or receive students from these 2 partners because of security restrictions. Those include Koç University in Istanbul, Turkey. So unfortunately, students cannot currently apply for this program, but if you're interested, come talk to me. We can always try to negotiate or find an alternative to this specific destination. American University in Cairo is also currently on hold because of security restrictions at university level. So we won't be able to send students to this destination as well. So application process, I can go quickly over this since I already mentioned it before, but the online application includes a transcript, resume, essay, and a bio, very easy. And then you'll be contacted for an interview with me. It will be a short interview, and again, it's nothing formal. And then I will be nominating students who are accepted into programs to the partner. And then you would hear from the partner starting from that time when you're nominated. So you'll get a message from me saying, hey, you've been accepted into the program. Then you'll basically, if you're like, yep, I want to do this, I want to go to Korea in the spring, I will nominate you to Korea University Business School, and then they will start communicating with you about their applications. So every partner has a student application that you'll need to fill out, make sure to submit everything, and get you in their system, get you visa support documentation. So you need to make sure that you're on top of their deadlines, because if you miss their deadlines, there's nothing I can do to get you back into the exchange. And then, of course, the partner will send you the final acceptance, the final visa documents if you need to get a student visa to study there, and that will finalize your paperwork with them. And then you'll be able to start logistical arrangements, including finding your lodging, booking your ticket, and all of that, and register for classes there. All right, the application deadline is March 15 for fall and priority spring. And then right now for the spring 2024, the deadline is September 10. All right, so we already talked about billing and financial aid, but if you're doing a study abroad program, because you're paying DW tuition, if you have a scholarship with DW, that scholarship money will cover those tuition credits. If you have loans as well, that will cover. And of course, if you want to apply for more additional financial aid, you'll be able to, you'll qualify for those financial aid. One announcement that I'm very happy to make is that all students who are accepted committed and go on these exchange programs will receive a scholarship award in form of a travel reimbursement. So you'll get $1,500 in travel reimbursement. So let's say you commit to University of Maastricht, you're going to the Netherlands, you bought all of your plane tickets. When you travel in country, like that first day on your ticket, you start your semester, I'll process a reimbursement. You'll basically, and I'll communicate with you. You'll submit like your flights, your lodging, for example, and I will reimburse you up to $1,500. And that's automatic. Once you apply, committed, participating in a program, you'll get that funding. All right. And then these are just some quotes from students who studied abroad before. If you're interested, our blog is a little bit dry because after COVID, we had a little bit of a hard time getting back into the groove of nominating students. But if you ever want to hear about their experience on the ground, you can go on our blog and read a little bit more about where students went and how they found their experience. So these are the students that we had in the fall 2022 abroad. In the spring 23, these are the 6 students that were abroad. Right now, well, the spring 23, we had 5 students from our partner school. So these guys finished the spring and already departed, but these folks are currently here. We have 18 students here in the fall. So you might actually meet them around campus, or you'll probably maybe be in some of your classes. And these are folks from these partner schools that I just described. So we have students from Copenhagen Business School, Grenoble School of Management, Melbourne Business School, Bocconi University, IPADE, Fudan, Tel Aviv, University of St. Gallen, and Audencia Business School. So if you're interested in meeting any of these folks, let us know and we can put you in touch. And we'll try to have events where we will invite some of these folks so that you can get to meet them and ask them about their experience in their school. So on that note, what can you do now? Well, stay in touch with us at sbnpl@gw.edu. Visit our website, browse through our offerings, and then contact us on social media. You can even like follow us now. I post a lot of opportunities through our partners, deadlines, anything that's happening. So that's a good way to keep track of our offerings. So without further ado, I'm going to end this recording and then open it up for questions.